Hi everyone. I had a request recently to show you guys how I make my little mini scrap journals. And so I had started putting a few more together, or a couple more together, and I wanted to show you what my process is. It's honestly nothing more than taking a sturdy base for each page. You can use a piece of a file folder. This is a scrap from a file folder, and I also use scraps of cardstock. So that gives you a nice sturdy page. So I've got a smallish one going here. This one is a little bit smaller than the last ones. I think the last ones were more like this size, and so this other one is just a little bit smaller. Just really cute. And I've put some scraps on all of the pages for these pages that I've made. All have scraps on them, is what I'm trying to say. So each one has just scraps glued down. See if I can open it. There we go. Scraps glued down, and I'm going to further embellish them just a little bit. I'll show you my process here, and just give you an idea of what they look like. So these are like leftover jelly prints. They're leftover prints that I've made of jelly prints or of painted papers, and I would have scraps left over. So I'm using all of those things to create these pages. So I'm going to just set this little one aside for a minute, because I do need to make one more page for this book, and that way I can show you, exactly how I create it. So I've got a little box that's just full of scraps. Gift wraps. These are gift wraps. This is gift wrap. The jelly prints, like I was talking about. These are some stickers that I had jelly printed on, labels. Let's see what else is in here. There's a little bit of security envelope scraps that I might use for the next step that I was talking about. So I will go ahead and just put one of these together for you and show you how I just kind of glue things down. Okay, so now comes the part where I will take little strips of color, little pieces that just have a little bit of extra color, and I lay them on some of these pages for contrast. You can see how pretty some of these little small bits are, like that. I'm going to also pull out some black and white bits to possibly use too. This is some stickers, circle stickers that are just kind of half, a little bit over half really. And I think I'll use some of those somewhere. I'm not sure where yet, but we'll see. But all of these pretty little strips can be part of the page, any of these pages. And it just helps get the process started for adding interest. All right. And this is not considered anything like a focal point or anything like that yet. Just adding more fun to the pages. You'll see what I mean as we go along. Okay. And that little tiny one I had a while ago, we can bring that over too. Whoops. All right. So there's a couple of little pieces there that I'll use after I get some more on here. So like up here is a little white spot where there was no paint. And so I want to add a little bit of something there. Like maybe that bright pink color one would look cute there. Yeah, sure. Let's do it. And I'm just going to glue the whole thing and then flip it over. Just fun, just adds a little bit more to the page behind it. I just love it. It's just such a fun way to use these colorful little bits and pieces. Love it. And down here is kind of plain, even though it's got some of the painty marks on it. In the margin where it was just plain, I like to sometimes add something colorful, you know, like that, or maybe down at the bottom. Everything's kind of going that way, so I might put it this way just to be different. Just because. Okay. And that adds a little bit more there. Okay. And now there's a little bit of color here, but something really bright like yellow or orange would be pretty there. Here's a more pink, kind of a hot pink. Even this one would be really pretty. There. Let's do that one. It's really colorful. Alright, so I'm going to go through and just add some more of these little bits, colored bits where they're needed, and then I'll come back and put in some of the black and white ones that will really, you know, make the pages pop more. I did want to see if one of these would look cute here. I think maybe it would. Let's do that one. Here we go. See, it just adds a little bit more color and fun. Love it. We'll say that one's done for now. think I'm pretty much done. Now, I also, on each of my little books previously, I had attached one of my little doodled leafy branches. So I'm going to put one of those on here. And then one of my pages has a little heart punched out. So I'm going to punch that on this page right here. Okay, the punch had a little trouble going through because it is so thick now. So I got it the rest of the way with my little craft knife. So there's the page with the heart cut in it. And so now it's just a matter of putting the book together. I think I want this one on the cover. And then I will put in maybe this one, and then this one. Right, I'll put this one there, and then this one. Okay, so that's the order I've put the pages in. And they're not all exactly even. They're very close to the same, but I wasn't being too particular about getting them exact. So now I'm going to do the tab binding and attach all of these they're like little single page signatures. And I'm going to attach those together, and I'm not going to sew them. I'm going to use this little tab binding. And what I'm using is this Tim Holtz linen tape. So it's actually fabric with an adhesive on the back, and it's really good tape. And I recommend it. If you're going to do something like this, I recommend this tape, although you don't have to use this, but this does make it a lot easier. So I've pulled out some little pieces and trimmed them to size. I have to peel off the backing, of course. And on the first page, I'm going to lay down 3 tabs. Just put it halfway on, like that, okay? And I'm going to do that all the way down, one on each end and one in the middle. I'm not pressing it down real hard just yet. I'm just kind of laying it in place. You can move this around a little bit when you need to. I think it becomes a lot more permanent after it has set for a while. So this one goes middle, so that's right about here. Okay, so there are my 3 tabs. So now I'm going to go to the next page. And on this page, I'm going to do 2 tabs. And they're going to go in the middle. I'm going to turn this upside down just for the sake of showing how this goes. I'm going to put them in between in these 2 sections that don't have any tape. I'm going to put them on my new piece, but kind of place them in the middle between those 2. Okay, I've got my pages lined up, and I'm just putting the tape in place like that. Okay, now I can turn this page back around. So, actually I should have just turned it this way to start with. It's easier just to flip it over. Okay, so now I have this piece ready, and it's going to attach behind this one because it's the second page. So I'm going to lay these 2 together, stack them up, and get them as even as I want them to be. Okay, and make sure that the ends down here are together. Now you can see my tapes are not quite right, like right here. This one needs to be moved over a tiny bit. So all I have to do is peel that off and scooch it over a little bit. Just want to get it in the right place. There we go. Then this one right here looks a little bit crooked too, so I'm going to straighten that up a little bit. Okay, I think that's about right. Yep, perfect. You just want to give them room to be able to move between each other. Okay, so the second page goes down, and then I'm going to use my first 3 tabs from the first page, and I'm going to pull it snug and tape it down. And these are the tabs from the first page. Okay. Pull it snug and stick it down. And now we have these two, which are from page 2. So I'm going to take my next page and I'm going to add 3 again. So we're just alternating 3 and 2. So I'm going to place that there. I'll line it up with my page here and place my little tab down in the middle. Okay. And then this one. Oops. Like that. Okay, pick it up, turn it over, and put it on the back of page 2. Okay. Even them up like we did before, and this time we're going to put on the 2 tabs from the previous page. Pull it snug and tape it down. So it's a little bit crooked. There we go. So now we're on our last page, and it does not get any tape at all. It just simply goes onto the back side of page 3. Get the pages where you want with the spines aligned, and then just tape them down with the 3 from the previous page. Pulling it snug each time. Okay, and there you have a cute little tab binding. Okay, so then your book opens like this. It lays flat. No matter where you are in the book, it lays flat. It's great. And that's how it's done. It's so fun. And that's just a simple way to use your scraps, and it's fun. I could sit for hours just gluing scraps down on top of one another. So this is the little one, and I put it together earlier and got it all ready to show you. So now you know how to do it. Now you can do it. Use your scraps. So have fun, everybody. I hope you enjoy making some little scrap journals. And we will chat with you again in the next one. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.